Which players, past or present, would you have liked to have played with before you retired?
Well, I'm the biggest Michael Jordan guy. That was my hero growing up in the '90s. I would have loved to obviously play with him. And then, funny thing is, when he made Game Six in the shot to win the sixth title in Utah, he retired the following year, and that next year was my first year. So I didn't get a chance to see MJ in Chicago, and then of course he came back a few years later. With the Wizards, which was still amazing, great experience. But of course, it wasn't the MJ of the Bulls anymore. So he'd be my one, and I always say, of course, Shaq, a dominant big guy like that. I think you would have helped me get a lot of looks from the outside. As you know, I was a big Kobe fan as well. I think that those are the sort of top players. Kobe was the closest thing to me to MJ. How his killer instinct, his athleticism, his confidence level on the court. I mean, his skill level. It was just to me he was the closest thing we've ever seen to MJ. So obviously these are some of the all time greats. I would have loved to play with.
I trust me. I tried to get to Dallas many times. Me and Mark was working behind the scenes, but like
So
like right after I left LA, Mark was the first person I called. But Mitch
yeah,
Kupchak didn't want to trade me to Mark, so I ended up
it,
going to him.
it never worked. Yeah, I remember there were a few rumblings around at the time, and then you obviously went to Miami, and then you guys beat us in '06. So that was
I
a
called
tough
Mark.
period
I
for
said,
sure.
Mark, whatever you got to do to get me there. And he's like, the Lakers won't do it, man. I was like, make them do it, Mark.
Yeah,
And they wouldn't do it. But that would have been nice because I love Dallas, as you know.
that's
I
great.
got two houses here.
Yeah,
Not only
not
time.
only one. Huh?
Yep.
That's
What the
awesome.
hell would Dirk and Shaq been like together?
Oh,
Shaq, that would have been crazy.
That would have been
Dirk
a
would have had about
decent.
21,000. Dirk, I'm mad at you.
That would have been a decent combo. Oh, what happened?
I didn't know you passed me up until Adam told me one day. He's like, hey, your boy Dirk's about to pass you. I was like, Dirk who? He's like, Dirk Nowitzki. I was like, and then I went back. I was like, God damn, man, you was shooting up like that?
Well,
I was
hey,
fucking mad. Cause now I'm what, number 9?
Around there, yeah.
I'm gonna be a bum. I don't believe it.
yeah.
I'm gonna be out the top 10. I'm a
Hey,
bum.
I played a long time. I kept even at the end. I kept hoisting those jumpers. Hey, and if you shoot threes, that is a point every time more. So yeah, that does help. That does help.
Dirk, I always wanted to ask you this question. 21 years. What was it about Dallas that made you play all 21 years? Because there was some times where you guys weren't really that good, and then, you emerged to be a champion. We got you one time in the 2006 final, but you came back and
Yeah,
won.
yeah.
What made you want to stay in Dallas 21 years?
No, it was just at the beginning. I didn't really know what to expect, and then but people here were great to me. People were loyal to me. They were made me feel welcome at the beginning, and then Mark buying the team my second year, and we developed a great relationship, and so it was kind of like people were great to me. They wanted me to succeed, and having a great relationship with Mark, and I just sort of felt like I owed it to the city and the franchise to make it work here, and so there were some tough years early, and then there were some tough years really late. That midsection, we had unbelievable, 10 years of 50+ wins. That was a heck of a run. But I always say, you have to go through the tough times as well. You can't always be there for the good times, and the franchise definitely had some tough years there at the end, but I wanted to stick it out. I wanted to see the franchise through. And then we drafted your boy Luca my last year in the league. So that was the turning point for this franchise again. And I'm so glad we got him. And now look where we're at.
So you always hear these people, the next Jordan, the next Shaq, the next LeBron, next Kobe. Who's the next Dirk? I want to hear from the original Dirk. Who is the next Dirk?
Well, there's a lot of guys out there now that can spread the floor and shoot. I mean, we were both part of this change where, late 90s, 2000s, still a lot of banging and a lot of ISOs, and then over the years, everybody started shooting. They started putting some different rules in, and just now the skill level of the bigs is just has been incredible to watch. How now everybody can shoot. Now they initiate the offense. They bring the ball up. Play through the bigs at the high post, and so I mean the skill level of the bigs has improved so much across the board. That's been it's been fun to watch. I'm not quite sure who I guess the next Dirk is, but I mean it's been fun to watch for me to see the big guys improve and shoot the ball with range now. And
I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say that. I blame you, Tim, and KG for all this, and Sabonis for all this stuff that we're going through now. I used to hate to try to guard you guys on that pick and pop. I'm like, oh.
Oh man, we used to try everything. Hey, I'll never forget. I think it was my second year or something, and Nelly came in and was like, "We're going to try to guard Shaq a little different today." And he looked at me and was like, "You're guarding Shaq," and I was like, "What are you talking?" I thought he was joking. So he's like, "No, as soon as Shaq crosses half court, you just stand in front of him. And as soon as they throw the ball over, here comes Sean Bradley. And then, well, you guys trap him. It'll be fine. He's going to pass the ball out." The first time the ball goes over my head, I turn around. He elbowed Sean out of the way. He elbowed me out of the way and dunked it so hard. That strategy did not work. So obviously we couldn't match Shaq's physicality, so we had to try different stuff to kind of be effective. So pull him away from the hoop some, maybe run him some in transition, try to pick and roll him to death. But I mean, there was anything really we tried didn't work. But we couldn't out physical him, so that was for sure.
Sean Bradley. Oh my goodness.
Bradley, yeah, we had a squad there in the early 2000s.
All right, you know what?